What's up, summoners? King Blair here. Today is day 3 of this summoning event. We're gonna be doing our summons and then doing 10 other banner summons. So if you like this, and then we're gonna be talking about some units that have come back because of the hunt, and some units you should be dusting off to be able to clear some of those hunt dungeons. Not, you may not have all of them, but there are a few that for sure you probably have access to that you're like, wow, they actually can help that much, and yes, they're pretty amazing. So without further ado, let's just get right into it. I do leave the Discord server in the description if you want to join and join the community and just get to know other people. But let's just get started. So yesterday I did pull the Chiron. We are at 5 4-star artifacts, 1 6 5 4-star artifacts, 1 5-star artifact, 2 5-star heroes, no MLs. So maybe let's see if we can break the ML streak. And I'm gonna be summoning the Craw banner since I already got the Charon. I was debating whether I should keep sending the Charon, but I gotta try to get other units that I don't have overall. So let's just get right into it. So we've been having pretty good luck. Oh my goodness, is the luck continuing today? Let's see what we're gonna be adding to. Oh yeah, and we had like a couple of 5-star heroes. Okay, so a 4-star artifact, Zero Ren, actually becoming a really good artifact now. Big thing is because of Wyvern, with Luluka and with Dizzy. This lets you have a random debuff, and this does not check for resistance. So this will click if it's one of the ones that can actually be applied. It will just apply it. So that's kind of nice because it gives you an extra layer of protection, you know, especially with the Wyvern having such high resistance. It's actually a really good artifact now because of that. It is mage exclusive, so only characters that can use it are Dizzy and Luluka. That I know that you can use on Wyvern stage. So let's see. Today might be a day where our luck isn't as crazy. Maybe I should just summon. Oh, I could. Maybe I'm wrong. Oh, it said collect artifacts. I think this might be a new artifact. Yeah. So it's a hero. Oh, Clarissa. Nice. Clarissa still, I don't think she's that good anymore. She's still a good farmer, but that's about it for her. Oh, we still have one more. All right, so we're gonna do it on the Crow banner because Crow, they're pretty smart with it. Crow is also a really good unit. Cross it is a free-to-play unit you can use instead of Crow. But Crow, I feel like it's one of those units that he keeps coming back again and again. So let me think. This is summon 1, summon 2. Summon 3. Summon 4. Ooh. Summon 5. If we get Carl, that'd be pretty nuts. I haven't gotten a hero. Oh, it's an artifact. Let's see if it's 5-star. No. So another 4-star. So we've. Oh, nice. I actually need more of these. Yeah. This artifact is really good. And I'm trying to build an Elena, so I need another one maxed out. But pretty good artifact, too. But big thing with these summons, it's kind of nice because I already finished a lot of I finished all the quests for the 3-stars. So all the 3-stars I'm getting here are actually going straight for fodder. Okay, so last summon of the day. Let's see if it's something good, something worth it. Oh, 4-star artifact. Ooh, another artifact you can never have too much of. Honestly, I feel like I want like 4 of these maxed out, to be honest with y'all. At least 3, because I want to give one to my Oxlots and actually build an Oxlots team. So it'd be pretty nice if I could get another one of these almost maxed out. But such a hard artifact to get at times. I missed out when it was at the shop, but yeah. That's all as far as the summons go. So today, no 5-star stuff, nothing crazy, but still pretty good rates. We still got, what, 3 artifacts and 1 hero? So that's pretty good. We're already past, like, what's expected from, like, the 140 summons. So I'm pretty happy with how it's coming out to be. But now, let's get to the actual video. So, units that have come back kind of out of nowhere for some of them, and some of them that have already been there, but just haven't had the spotlight as much recently. So big thing with a lot of these, it has been because of the hunts, like the Wyvern hunt and the Banshee hunt, that people are taking another look at them and they're like, You know, this unit really good for this hunt. So of course Shadow Rose for the one shot Banshee, but I think Banshee is really hard to one shot. It's been pretty hard. There's not ML units that have really made a comeback recently. It's mostly been the 4-star units, the RGB units. So where is for Banshee, the biggest unit that's kind of being used everywhere, and a lot of people have started using, is Jet. So you might be like, Jet, why Jet? So the big thing with Jet is, I gotta tell you all the hardest part about Banshee B13, because I've been able to clear it slowly, and I'm highly considering building this guy and actually investing all the way in him. Is the debuffs are so tilting because of the recent change they made to the Banshee, where on the second stage, usually she used to break apart into smaller Banshees, and I used to think that that was a nerf what they did to where she just attacks you guys, but that's actually a massive buff to her because it makes it so she applies more debuffs and can apply the Banshee's curse on top already when you're not expecting it. It's just when you meet a cap. And Jet still is one of the best units, I think, for Banshee, one of the best Soul Weavers, even though people haven't invested in him as much because it wasn't as important. But if you want fast Banshee clears, I don't think you can. I think I've seen one person be able to one shot it, and they needed like really big setup. And there's still gonna be one Banshee one shot teams, but the gear for that is kind of insane. I tried doing it with my best gear, my best damage dealer, and I wasn't able to do it. So the slow one has been the best one for me. And one of the most consistent ways is going to be Jet if you want those slow clears. Big one is like the 80% chance to spell. This is the biggest one. It's a free what's that Soul Weaver artifact called? Wondrous Potion Vial. It's a free Wondrous Potion Vial. You basically get a free debuff cleanse, and you give him Wondrous Potion Vial, and now you have 2 debuffs every time he takes a turn. And his stats are pretty. He's pretty slow, but it's not bad for a Soul Weaver. And the big thing is he also gives continuous healing and speed. So there's people that still use Sid, like Bologna, and you want to take more turns because the Banshee is pretty fast. And the continuous healing makes it nice because it gives some healing. And he still does some decent damage. And then the decreased hit chance, again, anything that can help you survive longer. Super duper big now in Banshee. So pretty good unit. Kind of coming back as a secondary Soul Weaver because he is a little bit more on the aggressive side with the continuous healing and increased speed. It lets you take more turns, it lets you do more damage, and it's just more consistent overall because it's every time he takes a turn, it's 2 debuffs gone. Angelica Montmorency is another big one, but Angelica Montmorency's AI is kind of stupid sometimes. She'll just blow the skill 2, even though everyone's capped out and there's no debuffs, which kind of sucks, but that's Angelica Montmorency for you. Another one, the only one that I've seen that's a pretty consistent Banshee B11 clear has been with Baiken. I don't know what stats they have on their Baiken. I really want to know because the Baiken one shots, they're pretty smexy. And the reason why the Banshee one shots is so big is because of the way bleed works and the way her getting second turn works. So most of the time they'll usually apply the debuff and they'll have another attacker put the Banshee a little bit under a quarter health, like right before the 70% mark. They will put the Banshee to that point, and Viking will come in. She'll have attack buff for 3 turns, so usually has to be like a Deanne or a Vivian. And she'll come in and attack with the second skill, where it does quite a bit of damage, maxed out, but then it applies like 3 bleed effects, and then the Banshee would split. The Banshee's like a little bit under half, and the Banshee would split, but it doesn't because she gains that extra turn. And the AI does this for Viking, so then she comes in with her third skill, which does pretty good damage and then pops all the bleed effects, and it does pretty mad damage. Like, that's the only one shot I've seen that has been really successful, and it looks really, really stupid consistent. I think they put Torn Sleeve on her, which is the event artifact. I know she's event limited. One thing about the hunts is a lot of the units that are being really good for it are event exclusive, but this is one of the bigger ones that I'm pretty impressed by. I'm pretty happy. I'm gonna try to get my back into that level, and that's probably gonna be like my end game goal. But I still don't know how they did it, y'all. I know Vivian's gonna be a big part of me being able to do that, but I don't know. I don't know. You know, it's hard. I'm gonna skip the water ones because there's a lot of that for Wyvern. For the fire, for Golem, the units that are good are still good. You know, Lyrica has always been good. Tamarind has been good. But one that has kind of come back and people are using a lot more. Again, another event limited, which kind of sucks. But people weren't really using their soul until now. Like everyone's like, the day will come where Soul is going to be an amazing unit for Golden B for B11. Everyone's like, there's gonna be a day where PvE content comes out that Soul becomes a must-have, and y'all, that content has come. Golden B13, Soul makes like light work. If you have him in your shelves, you know they gave the Ego Fragment, so he gets all this attack boost. If you were there with the event, this skill being able to dispel buffs, make unable to be buffed. Really big for Golem because some of the Golem things are pretty busted. And his attacks are based off of his the boss's HP, kind of like Bellona. So he's able to actually kill the boss pretty fast. He's able to counterattack. He can do so much work for your team that he's a really solid Golem unit that honestly, out of all the fire units are good for Golem, but he has just make a big impact, and then paired up with Lilius and Tamarine, it's pretty nuts. He can actually do a lot of damage. And he's decently tanky too. And you can even make him be tanky in your whole team. So really, really nutty there. But alright, the one single content that has brought the most units back has been Wyvern B13. Y'all, Wyvern B13, kind of a nightmare. Probably the hardest hunt from what I've heard to build and to do everything. Because if you want to speed clear, you're not getting consistent runs most of the time, or you have to have insane freaking stats. Like I see, like Angelica has to be like plus 18k HP and like a nutty amount of speed, and that's with a secondary support. If you want to have like a triple aggressive team, your Angelica has to be like over 20k and some like it's crazy, y'all. Like how much it is, but you have to have those stats. But there are units that make it easier where they can do high damage, apply a high amount of debuffs, and have made the hunt a little bit easier. So big one that has actually come back is Angelica. So why do I say this? After Angelica Montmorency came out, Angelica has definitely fallen off the map a little bit. Like yes, people still used her because they had her built, but for the most part, even now, a lot of people are still using their Angelica Montmorency because Angelica Montmorency just does so much more for your team than Angelica does in terms of other content in the game. So it came to a point where it's like, why invest in Angelica? Well, now you have a massive reason why you should be investing in Angelica. As a Soul Weaver, she's got some pretty good stats. Her health is pretty high up there. Her speed is abysmal. Like that's something that's like, it sucks. It's a part of life. But her speed, her HP is pretty good. And the biggest thing that they added with the Ego Fragment is a lot of people will have their Angelica. If you had her for a long time, you will have her, where is it? You will have her fully SSR, and if you do, and you give her the Ego Fragment, she gets a 15% HP boost, which is insane. And this second heal is still one of those heals that just like, it's nuts. It actually just basically heals her to full, so she can tank like 2 Wyvern hits and then basically heal all the way up and tank the last 2. So she is a tank that's a support, and honestly, for speed runs, unless you have a crowd that's just insane tank, Angelica is probably going to be the only frontliner that you can put up there that's going to be able to tank by herself. And easier. It's a lot easier to build Angelica than a Montmorency that can do that. Because I've tried with my Montmorency, but Montmorency is very stat hungry because she also needs the effect resistance. She needs a lot. Angelica Montmorency needs a lot. And I'd rather have her be a little bit faster for other content. Whereas for Angelica, it doesn't have to be as fast. She just needs to be super meaty, be able to take a turn at least until Wyvern has gone twice, and take a turn there. And usually, because of the way the hunt works, you'll be on the first stage, she'll burn this third skill, and then when you get to the Wyvern hunt, she'll be here. So you basically get 4 turns to wipe out the Wyvern or you lose kind of thing. But she definitely has come back to the spotlight. The other unit that is a unit that all of you guys will have, and he's also a connection hero, so very free to play, who people are starting to build like crazy because he is just able to do so much work. Furious. y'all, he's probably the most consistent defense breaker people have been using. Because the skill is on a pretty low turn cooldown, and his damage, he has damage, he has speed, like 110 speed. That's pretty solid. You know, that's not slow. So he can do damage, he can defense break, and he can increase crit rate. So usually how he'll run is he'll defense break. It doesn't have 3-turn cooldown. He'll do this skill. He'll get an extra turn and do his first skill, apply burn. That's the other reason. He has a chance to apply a burn, which is another debuff that can help. A lot of people are also pairing him up with Song of Stars to be able to also have target. So he kind of becomes a unit that is just very nice and consistent to have to be able to apply more debuffs on the boss. He's able, with this skill, I think this skill will also proc the Song of Stars, so this can also proc a target. So with this skill, and if you have a max Song of Stars, that's like 2 debuffs, which is what you need. And even if he misses that skill, you have someone that's doing a lot of damage, increasing your crit rate, getting extra turns, doing extra damage. So really, really solid unit. Especially if you don't have Seaside Bellona, this is probably going to be one of the routes you can take to be able to clear Wyvern B13 as a free-to-play player. And he just really has been doing a lot of work for most people. I see him on a lot of teams for Wyvern B13. The other unit who I'm like super excited to build, who I've had sitting in the closet for ages, who I've always liked, and I've always been like, I wish she was usable. And now she's honestly she's gone from 0 to hero with this update, because she also just got a buff. She literally went from one of the worst units to pull, like haste level, where she was not doing much, to like, this is almost a must-have unit, and there is reason for that. So, big thing, stats, pretty solid, you know, high attack, high speed, high crit hit damage already, and high crit chance. You literally start with a unit that basically is already building herself, which is really nice to have that. She's also a warrior, so she has access to a lot of different artifacts that increase effectiveness, increase effect resistance, and add more damage. So she's able to do a lot of work, and the fact that she attacks a lot also makes her a perfect candidate for Daydream Joker, because she's able to attack so often, she can actually do a lot of damage. The other big thing is the amount of debuffs that she has, especially with this S2, because all you need is 2 debuffs. The duration doesn't matter. This skill has, once it's maxed out, it's 100% chance that you're making the target unhealable and applying a bleed. So that's 2 debuffs, and usually you're pairing other units along with her, like usually a lot of people are using Seaside Bellona and like Luna, so that's more ways to defense break, and now you also have more ways to apply debuffs. And then the skill 1 also applies a bleed with a pretty high effect chance. So, it's 2 bleeding effects, so you even get more bleeding effects. You're doing a lot of damage on the boss when he takes his turn, and you're also applying those debuffs that you need to have for Wyvern B13. It's pretty nuts. It's pretty great. She is one of the units that I think is going to make my Wyvern B13 consistent, because she's just able to output so much damage. She can actually break through the barrier pretty well, especially because the Wyvern will probably be below 75% health. This skill will always be proccing her first skill, so she's able to apply bleed after bleed after bleed, and then be able to allow you to come back. And with the third skill, once you're in that Wyvern phase, and you're putting in the debuffs, then you can come in, do this skill, and then just break the barrier, or just kill the dragon, you know? The skill, I've seen it do insane amount of damage. The other thing is with the buff, she's also a really solid PvP unit, because she's able to apply Extinction, making her be usable in a lot of different scenarios, especially like against Lilius teams and like those like fire type teams that have been popping up in Arena here and there. She's able to just come in, kill the Arbiter Vildred, kill the Lilius, just do so much work. The big thing is she's a really good Lilius killer with the second skill. She's just able to get rid of Lilius like from the start, and then when you slow burn the skill, you're able to use the skill 3, and then you just are able to wipe out their Arbiter Vildred. So you like literally one unit takes care of 2 units on their team pretty consistently, and that's what makes this really, really nice. I've seen those videos. It's nuts. It's crazy. She's crazy. She's definitely gone from 0 to hero. But that is all I have for you guys today. I hope you enjoyed. Let me know if I missed a unit. I know Luluka is another one I didn't talk too much about, who has been a really good for the support style teams, where you have a Momorancy in the front, her in the back as a defense maker as well. But there's so many good combos and so many units that are coming back up with this update, and that's what I love. So that's all I got for you guys today. I will see you all next time. Peace.